target of invasion by Benin due to the relationship between the two. Benin's extension of sovereignty beyond its territories was only the first step towards its destined role as a major power in the region. The conquered territories were regarded as particular and unique, which explains why Benin treated its frontier possession as distinct units and did not establish a uniform administrative system. The conquered neighbors of Benin to the north, south, and east were subjected to the rule. And those between were placed under princes of the royal lineage, whose political power were deprived from the authority of the Oba of Benin. In the specific cases of Ikere and Eko, Benin dynasties were established. Ikere in the Ekiti region became a military outpost of Benin towards the end of the 15th century. This was probably after its ruler had been replaced by Benin and Ikere under its Benin dynasty days. Smith, 1988, page 46, became a fort among the frontier settlements of Benin warriors and migrants. The conquest of Lagos was undertaken by Oba Orogboa, the warrior king, who reigned from 1550 to 1578. Benin established a dynasty by installing the first Oba of Lagos, known as Oba Ado Takiru Folami, 1982, page 22, explains that Ado was the son of Ashipa, whom the Oba of Benin imposed on the people of Lagos after establishing a dynasty in Udo, which the Oba of Benin regarded as an extension of his empire. Ashipa was a grandson of Oba Orogboa for some reasons. The territory became the southern military outpost of Benin and called Eko, meaning war camp. The idea of a war camp was to ensure that Benin maintained an overwhelming superior military establishment, fully adequate for the range of its campaign on the sea coast. The military success of Benin was such that the Lagos territory paid annual tribute to the Oba of Benin until British colonization in the 19th century. It follows, therefore, that Benin military power was independent on their positions in society. Second, that the political organizations was to a great extent connected with the social and economic structure of the state. Third, that granting titles involved the payment of the fees and presentation of gifts to the Oba, which was for the Oba as a powerful economic weapon. Fourth, that the Oba depended on the subject for tribute and tax to maintain the royal father and retinue of palace officials. Fifth, that the people of Benin will in no way mostly ensure that we as a people are covered even before they are covered. Setup of the Benin society accommodated into the institution within the structure of the state. The importance of the local structure in the state society relation was such that it was the interest of the state not to allow the relations between the overload and the threat to become too strong or permanent. A threat of this nature, which developed in the 15th century, was therefore not hereditary, nor was it the prerogative of particular persons or certain families, but was linked with titles and office. Change of titles meant change of threat. The higher the title, the larger the threat. There was also the threat which belongs to and were privately controlled by the heir apparent. The Edaike and the Queen Mother, the Yoba, and the members of aristocratic families who were intimately connected with the ruling family by marriage or descent. The threat of members of these aristocratic families were farming settlements founded by their slaves, bondsmen, or clients, which were administered privately by them and were inherited by their descendants and the Yoba. Given them by the Oba for their maintenance and were administered by a group of officials. Oba and residing at the court of the Yoba at Usilu. Within the framework of state societies, relations, two perspectives of Benin society and political life began to develop. The first was that of the class of nobles whose position in the state were determined by their members and the position. The local community were at the base of the socio-economic process. The two perspectives highlight dynamics of the socio-economic process. System of during this period. Interestingly, importance came to be attached to the political and military leaders, as it was possible for them to create and establish their own authority within the state structure. The degree of personal authority within the state structure was further demonstrated by many of the chiefs who used the period to plan other things. Both the Oba and the founding chiefs collected personal stars and used the inhabitants to cultivate the soil for their own economic settlements. Villages which originated as slave settlements could attain independence through redemption, but continued the payment of customary tribute to the Oba. It follows, therefore, that the use of slaves in the socio-economic organization of Benin during this period was one of future society relation. The possession of a large number of slaves was an index in the social status and prestige of a man of clan of the society. This explains why the institution of slave and its own place and its structure intrudes the stage, argues Philip Igbafe, lay deep in the economic, military, social, and political necessities of the kingdom. The manner in which the slaves were used in Benin give credence to this view. The Oba had his own slaves, while the state functionaries and the people also had theirs. Slaves were used as the labor force in the domestic economy in wars of conquest or expansion, for human sacrifices, and finally by the Oba in the maintenance and expansion of the guide system. Only slaves who had regained their freedom could aspire to tithe in the state. The Asein of Benin, under Obaewaye, who became the first general, who became the first general commander of the Benin army, was a slave emancipated by the king, and fortune smiled on him. He rose to a position of prominence in the society. Besides the institution of slavery in the socio-economic organization of Benin, the widening of the commercial frontiers of the kingdom as a result of contact with the Europeans, first with the Portuguese, had its impact on trade and military activities. The beginning of trade with the Portuguese led to the pressure for the exchange of slaves with minerals and cowries and other commodities such as clothes of mixed colors and guns. The gun slave cycle probably began in the early 16th century before the reign of Obaesige. The use of firearms by the Portuguese mercenaries who accompanied Esige to the war with Ida is about 1515 to 1516, had a decisive effect on the outcome of the war. This prompted interest and curiosity in the acquisition of firearms by the kings of Benin. for use in the war of conquest and expansion of the kingdom. The Portuguese, in exchange for fire and clothes, demanded slaves. Obaesige prohibited the sale of male slaves to discourage European traders, and price of slaves were high. Right, the Portuguese did not seem pleased with this development. I'll be taking a short break. Thank you very much.
The ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labored, and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Our treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Unite and stand with each other, forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may, and our future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear and love the Creator, only then shall we succeed. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the city is marching. Stand up high to the pride of the land. The founding fathers have labored, and our time to serve is now. The glory of the new Edo nation will forever be our pride. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, you're the heartbeat of Nigeria. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the land people dream to be. Treasures are found in all nations, and our greatness is second to none. Our history forever shall be written, how our kings have endured all times. Our people cultured in unity, our hearts beat for the land. Rich culture, stories of heroes, legacies forever be. Beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, of Nigeria. Rise and stand with each other, forgive and let it go. Together we can stand, come what may. Edo future lies in us. Teach our children to teach their children what our fathers taught. To fear Edo, beautiful Edo, glorious Edo, stars are singing over you. You're the ancient city is calling. Oh, arise, sons and daughters of the land. The king of the
captives, for the military leaders. In the power dynamics period, of the period, expressed in several power rivalry between the Oba and his chiefs. Rivalry between the Oba and his chiefs. The Oba emerged as the supreme commander of the army. The interpretation of some writers suggests that this was to enable the monarchy to have supreme control over all the resources accruing from war. In other words, the need of the monarchy encouraged such a projection of power beyond the Benin hemisphere. However, this begs a key question. Why did other power, like Oyo, which emerged in the 7th century, also project its power abroad? The answer has several parts, because the growth of an imperial tradition was common to most of the great power in history. In the case of Benin, it is not necessarily the need of the monarchy that led to the pursuit of an active military policy for expansion and frontier conquest, but this developed quickly following the emergence of a new political order in which domestic issues arose stronger sentiment for the advancement of the economic value of new possessions by other grade of chiefs. Hence, as the era of the warrior kings ended, the military, administrative chiefs came to overshadow the king in the power struggle of that period. The political conditions in the early 15th century created the conditions for the emergence of the warrior king. It will be useful, therefore, to offer an outline account of the political foundations of the military system, which will provide an insight into the historical development that prompted the process of the establishment. Oba Ezoti and Olua did not embark on extensive war. It was Oba Ozolua, the conqueror, 1481 to 1504, who continued the campaign begun by Ewa and expanded the fortunes of the state through warfare. His successor, Oba Esige, who reigned from c. 1504 to 1550, continued with the policy of consolidation west and built a war camp, Eko, on Lagos Island, from where he launched his campaign. He installed one of his grandsons, Esikpa, as the Eleko of Eko.